not gangster. That's very not gangster.
I came up, got my name up. So when they speak of who blinged up, I'm who they bring up. Come up dissing and you'll come up missing. I'm a cutthroat baller like O.J. Simpson. I came up, got my name up. So when they speak of who blinged up, I'm who they bring up. Come up dissing and you'll come
Say that
up
again.
missing.
I couldn't hear you over the sound of me myself.
I done came up, got my name up. So when they speak of who blinged up, I'm who they bring up. Come up dissing and you'll come up missing. I'm a cutthroat baller like O.J. Simpson. Little homie, listen, try and serve me. I put a 25 in your back like Barry Bonds jersey. On the streets, on the beach, y'all ain't able. Cause too I shit on rappers like major labels. What's with the ice grilling, homie? Change your face. To see they'll do more than tan you to change your race. Girls love metaphor, and I love them back. Addicted to getting head, chicks call me the brainiac. Battle rap with words war like Jihad. I write dope, flow crack, my notepad need rehab. Fuck y'all CDs, y'all can't see these or touch these. Rhyme so chronic, my songs give you the munchies.
So tonight, people, I'm actually editing last week's episode at the same time we're doing this one because we're recording two at one time. But tonight we're just going to dive into a few things that we've kind of been discussing here. One of the big things is LeBron James. Now, for those of you guys who know, recently LeBron James has made the decision to leave the Cleveland Cavaliers and jump ship and go to the LA Lakers. I have seen so many memes, both good, bad, and definitely hilarious since this jump. My favorite one is when they said Lakers and LeBron fans are like, and they showed like Crips and Bloods with their do-rags tied together for peace.
Man.
Because, you know, the Kobe LeBron conversation is officially dead now. Like,
right, because now Kobe fans and LeBron fans
are
I feel like there's Kobe fans, there's LeBron fans, and then there's Laker fans.
Right.
So now all three of you niggas have to be on the same side and cheer for LeBron.
Now, it was funny because recently on TMZ, they interviewed Shaquille O'Neal. Like, since LeBron's in LA now, you going to come out of retirement? Shaq like, no, I'm done. But y'all niggas should talk to Kobe. He might come back. So how would you feel
if Kobe came back for one more year?
Do you feel like in order for Golden State to get dethroned, we may need the Kobe LeBron duo?
If Kobe came back for 1 year, they still wouldn't win shit.
No, you need 2 years because you got to, one, get the rust and the chemistry together.
Right, because I don't think Kobe ain't played. Now, I ain't saying that
I ain't saying he can't still ball.
Right, like I'm not saying that he's rusty because I'm pretty sure just sitting around this big-ass house, if you're not doing other shit, you go work out. You go to the gym. You still hooping.
Ball is life.
Right, ball is life. So you still hooping, but I feel like they would need, you're right, they would need 2 years just so they can get the chemistry of Kobe playing with LeBron. And then most of these young niggas that are there wasn't there when Kobe's last year.
Right. So niggas would need to know their role.
Right. But if Kobe was to call Magic, like, look, bro, I got like 2 years left in the tank. I want to get this ring with Bron. I'm here for it. And I'm not a Kobe fan. I'm not a Laker fan. But as far as the NBA and seeing how the power may shift, like, niggas in Golden State would probably be shaking if they heard Black Mamba was coming back for like another year or two.
You would have to do a 2 to 3 year contract because, like we said, you need the 1 year to work the kinks out. Everybody know they roles and how LeBron and Kobe is going to share this ball now. The second year is when they get shit done. And the third year is because people going to want that back-to-back.
Okay, let's look at it like this. Kobe calls Magic and say, I want to play 2019. I'll take league minimum because it's not about the money. It's just about me coming back to win a championship with Bron.
Okay.
Then on top of that, Kawhi Leonard is a free agent next summer. So imagine if he signs.
That's a lot of people Lakers. Playing the same position, playing the same
Kobe
2 to 3 positions.
Kobe's a 2 guy.
Right, he's a 2.
Okay, if you look at it like this, Kobe can stay the 2 guard.
Right.
Bron can play the 4 because he's big enough to be a power forward.
Okay.
Kawhi Leonard plays the 3.
Okay.
Lonzo is your point guard.
Lonzo has to be your point.
All you got to do is find a legit center.
You ain't got to find it.
And
They're going to come to you.
And they don't have, well, you probably still have JaVale McGee. I'm not really sure, but
look, bro,
you can find a center.
Bro, if you putting them 3 niggas on the same team, I guarantee you somehow Anthony Davis or DeMarcus Cousins is going to find a way to get out their goddamn contract.
Hey, man, I got to get to L.A. Trade me.
They going to do something.
I didn't trade.
They going to punt somebody that they going to want them gone. They going to do something to get out their contract. Every center in the league going to try to find a way to get out to get to that position. Only because you now, even if you don't be a part of for a championship ring, you want to be a part of history.
Right.
So you going to make that decision, that move somehow. All right. So we already got the fantasy part of things out the way. I would like to see it. I'm not a Lakers fan. I do have friends that are Lakers fans. And honestly, I want to sit down and talk to some of my Laker fan friends about how they feel about all this. Because, 10 years ago, LeBron been in the league that long?
15,
okay. 10 years ago.
Wait. 2003. Yeah, it's been about 15, 16 years.
Yeah. So, 10 years ago, It was Kobe, LeBron.
But before we get off the topic of basketball, as a Knicks fan, and you did, and whether you want to admit it or not,
I'm never going to deny that.
You supported Melo for those years he was in New York.
To a certain extent. To a certain point. To a certain point.
You were a Melo fan.
I had to be a Melo fan. I had, bro, when he jumped ship from Denver, because we were still in the rebuilding phase. So it's like, okay, we still in the damn rebuilding phase.
Okay. So I got a few questions for you. Okay. You can answer them.
I will answer them.
So now, I've been watching like a lot of these videos about sport. Like, this is a dude I follow on YouTube, Mike Korzemba.
Okay.
If you follow him, he make these dope ass videos and images of, like, restructuring the NBA.
Okay.
So
I gotta follow that.
So apparently, if Melo wouldn't have forced a trade, New York wouldn't have lost half their fucking team.
Fact.
Which was why you were in the rebuilding stage, because when you had people, you had to ship everybody to Denver to get Melo, and then you still ended up with J.R. Smith.
That's actually it was a catch-22. Because I remember me and Tori was having this conversation. When we had Stoudemire and we had a nice, great young squad, they were building it around Melo, which we could have had, but Melo wanted to re-sign for the contract he did, which caused us not to be able to pay people and keep people like Ahmed Shepard and all of that, because that was my boy.
Yeah, he had some. So do y'all think, like, as a Knicks fan, would you have rather Melo forced a trade to come to New York, or do you think it would have been better overall for the team had he waited till the summer and just signed as a free agent? Because if he signs as a free agent, you don't lose guys like Gallinari,
right?
Because he's a shooter,
right?
He's still
we lost a lot of key people that would have gotten us to at least
second round,
no problem. We could have easily copped a couple of people later on down the road that would have filled some spots, but then we ended up picking up Phil Jackson, and
I think it was too late by then.
Yeah, at that point in time, it was too late because Melo lost the love of the game. He was basically just eating off his money now. But yeah, if Melo would have bounced or came during the free agency, he might not have got top money. But we still could have worked out some things where some key players that would have worked well with him would have stayed. And we wouldn't have got stuck with fuckers like J.R. Smith.
So do you feel bad that Melo is the only person from that, like, top 5 in that draft class that don't got a ring?
No.
No. Bron's got a ring. Wade's got a ring. Bosh got a ring. And Darko Milicic, who was drafted before Carmelo, got a ring.
Okay. The reason why I said no, because 1, 3 of those people that you just named were smart enough to get together, take small pay cuts to get a ring.
Yeah, Wade and Bron took pay cuts. Bosh was the only person that got max deal money when he went, and they reported that they took the pay cuts so they could play together, and they felt like they weren't really taking pay cuts because they had endorsement deals.
Facts, and that's the thing. They took the pay cuts to better the team. Jordan took a pay cut. Okay, Jordan never really got max contract during his ring years.
Well, I mean, I feel like if you're gonna get me all of these great players to play with me,
I don't care about the
I'll
money.
take a pay cut. Like for what Dennis Rodman did for those last 3 championships, I probably would have took a pay cut for
Facts.
Dennis Rodman.
But that was my whole thing. So if you're more about getting paid, which I'm not mad at you for doing that, but you can't complain about what you don't have because you chose this over here. You can't be mad that you have to eat McDonald's for lunch because you took all your money and bought the top of the line new BMW.
Right, you just kind of got to eat that McDonald's till you get paid.
Right, you can't be mad. Or if you want to go out and buy the latest Jordans that drop, that's gonna run you $350. Well, you can't be mad if your jeans is gonna be $20 because you spent all your clothing budget on your shoes.
Right.
So that's how I looked at it. You forced New York to spend their whole budget on getting you. So now we have to put together what we can, and you never going to make it to the championship because you're not shelling out the money like you're supposed to, like you need to. It's different with other cities. Like Milwaukee doesn't have a big budget to begin with.
Right.
So the fact that we don't get far like we should for so many years, I can't be mad. Or when we do get good players and those players bounce to go somewhere else, it doesn't always have to be what you can do here in Milwaukee, but we can't give you what you're asking for because if we give you what you asked for to get you to stay here, we're going to underhand other people who are working at minimum.
But you know what, with Milwaukee, I feel like we never had bad players. We've had bad management.
That's true as well,
because Ray Allen never wanted to leave. But they had so much hope in Michael Redd being better than Ray Allen. We don't need you no more, Ray.
Milwaukee plans for the future too much and forgets about what's going on in the present.
Which is why, as good as Giannis is, I don't want them to do that to him. I feel like that new stadium that they just built downtown, that's for him.
It is.
Giannis got $100 million to stay in Milwaukee, and he signed it, no problem. We just got rid of Jabari Parker, which, in my opinion, let us know that all our money is on Giannis, and we'll build around him. We didn't need Jabari.
But, okay, not trying to knock Jabari Parker.
He's fucking injury prone.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. You can't, as much as Jabari opted to come here, because remember when it was his draft season, he said this is where he wanted to come. Because he wanted to build the future here, because he knew this was one of the best places to get an upstart at. But when your rookie contract, you're down for more than half of it, let's be logical. You don't want to bank. If you bought a car and someone sold you a car and everybody said this is the car for you and you said this is the car for me, but half the time you have the car, it's parked in the back because something's wrong with it, someone gives you money to say, hey, you can either get this car fixed or you can go buy a new car. What you gonna do?
I'd probably buy a new car.
Exactly. So you can't be mad that we let Jabari Parker go. If this motivates him to stay healthy and get his shit off in Chicago, go for it.
I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts. Dog is going to have a great season next year.
And I hope he has a great season because
he needs to prove people wrong that he's not injury prone, that he can be productive.
Because to me right now, he's Derrick Rose.
Oh, that's so bad. I feel you, though.
You feel why I say that,
because Derrick Rose had so much potential to be great.
But then he started getting hurt, and it was the same injury. So it got to the point where, like, we don't want to invest in you court-wise. I mean, let's not – he had off-court shit that got people not want to fuck with him, too. But on-court, it's like, dog, we can't build for the playoffs when we don't know if you're going to make it there.
Right.
You know? So I'm not mad about it. Don't get me wrong. I hope Jabari Parker go off, have best fucking season in Chicago. Bring back the Milwaukee-Chicago rival. Because growing up in the late 80s, early 90s, I love that shit. Like, the early 80s, Chicago wasn't shit. And Milwaukee used to get in their ass. They had to get Jordan to at least survive the border wars. Then, Jordan made it his personal vendetta to make sure he always shitted on Milwaukee. That when they went the record season, the card that comes out commemorating that year is in Milwaukee.
That's terrible.
Okay? So I'm not mad about that. Like, and now that's what I miss also in the NBA. There's no rivals like it used to be. Like when Jordan went into Atlanta, you knew Nick and Jordan.
Well, I feel like that's because now I'm not saying that I'm not saying that it's wrong to have friends, because at the end of the day, there's a whole 3 months in the summer, or like, you know, the NBA is like school.
Right.
We play all year, then we get summer break.
Right.
Of course, I'm going to want to go hang out with my friends on summer break. But I feel like there's no competitive edge anymore, because everybody wants to go and play with everybody. Like, I ain't saying Jordan and Reggie Miller wasn't cool, but Reggie Miller didn't want to play for the Bulls. He wanted to beat the Bulls. And I feel like we don't have that no more.
Hey, as a New York Knicks fan, fuck Reggie Miller.
Yeah, he did shit on you a couple times.
But as a person who loves basketball, that dude was the truth.
Right. And I think that's just what it is. Like, everybody wants to play with each other. Pause. Nobody wants to lead their own team. Like, I feel like a lot of niggas think it's okay to play. A lot of people feel comfortable playing second banana.
And I get that. There's no problem with being the B mic on the team.
Right, when you're already there.
Right. But my thing is even back in the days, it was fun to watch. See, right now, in the NBA, it's all about money. That's what it's turned into. Niggas only want to go for max contract to get as much money in their pocket as possible. Once that contract is signed, you'll get a first good year. The rest of that contract, they're going to play mediocre. And then the last year, they're going to step their game back up because they want to get another better contract.
If if niggas really felt like that, I would be okay, because then you wouldn't have what they doing in Golden State right now. Because if you look at how Golden State is constructed, and they've won, they got 3 rings now? Or is it 2? Okay, so they got 3 rings. Kevin Durant was there for 2. Steph and them got the first one without him.
Right.
Steph, Draymond, and Clay could probably easily get $200 million contracts anywhere else in the NBA. But they rather take what they get to keep the nucleus together, which I'm not mad at that, because they were all drafted there.
Right.
Then you get Kevin Durant, who is definitely he's got about $300 million worth of basketball talent.
Facts.
Can get paid anywhere in the league.
Facts.
But Kevin Durant's like, well, I'll sign a 1-year contract for about $50 million to play here, and then I'll just keep re-upping my contract just to play. So Kevin Durant is breaking the fucking NBA because he is $1 million talent that takes third-string money just so he can win championships.
Bruh, we had a past episode where I clearly said, fuck Kevin Durant for breaking the NBA. I went on a whole rant. So you ain't saying nothing that I ain't already said. It's his fault. You already took a 99 team. Okay?
Now they like 101.
It's flat 99.
2K better have the Golden State Warriors rated at 103.
Right. And it's because the Golden State Warriors already had a big 3. So they had scorers, they had defenders, they had a squad, they had a decent bench. If you take the top 3 guys off, Golden State bench alone would still get you maybe top 5. Okay?
I can see that.
Still get you top 5 if you take the big 3 out. Or at least take 2 of the big 3. Any 2 you want to, it will fluctuate between whether you go from 2 to 4, depending on who you pull.
Yeah,
but you still got a top 5 team compared to the league. Okay? You throw Kevin Durant in there, just like you said, he can go anywhere. You throw Kevin Durant on Milwaukee would jump from 11 to like 6 with ease.
But hey, we don't need Kevin Durant because
We don't.
We got Giannis Antetokounmpo.
We do. But what I'm saying is, this is like putting Jordan, 96 Jordan, in your league for no reason.
Yeah, that's
okay.
It's terrible.
So to add him to the already dominating team, it's like using a game genie. It's not fair. You breaking the cheat code and don't need to be broke. That's why I said. But now, what I said before was, now every other team has to follow the same beat down deck style in order to be able to do it. You have to stack your team full of dream team all-stars in order to make it a competition. And that's why I blame Kevin Durant.
Right, because it's definitely
Kevin
not
Durant
fair.
go anywhere else, I'm not saying that the other team, that Golden State still is still beatable. Like, they still gonna be unbeatable.
Bro, they won 73 games without that nigga.
Right, that's like they still
didn't
unbeatable.
need him.
They still unbeatable, but it'll be a more of a fighting chance. Like, if Durant went to Houston, that'd have been ugly. But then you put him Harden back together, and I don't know if that's gonna work.
Kevin Durant doesn't need the ball though. Kevin Durant can catch and shoot.
Kevin Durant can beat you in the paint.
Right, that's what I'm
Just
saying.
body you all day. He's inhuman.
But there is rumors that saying that
Durant's
this
inhuman.
may be his last year in Golden State.
But and I would understand that. Like, I get what Durant did, because, like you brought up about Melo, conversations of great players don't go based on stats anymore like it used to.
No, it doesn't.
Conversation for great players now fall on how many rings they have.
But I think we should eliminate rings from the conversation of you being a great player.
In fact, if you're going to do overall history, then you have to, because
I feel like Robert Horry was terrible.
He's
got 7 rings, but he's trash.
Damn, you're almost the most rings
He's
in
trash.
modern day basketball.
Robert Horry can't do what LeBron James do, but because Robert Horry got 7 rings, he's better than LeBron.
Let's do it one step further. Reggie Miller, who you brought up earlier,
He ain't got no rings.
probably one of the best in the leagues ever.
Got no rings.
He got no rings. So you gonna sit here and tell me, because if we going based on rings, Robert Horry is better than Reggie Miller?
No, Robert Horry is not better than fucking Muggsy Bogues, if you ask me. But
What about the niggas who were just role players, who just happened to be on winning teams? You didn't do nothing. You wasn't the key player, but you just happened.
You need good role players. Robert Horry is a good role player.
And I get that.
Tony Kukoc was a good role player.
Which is where Milwaukee made their mistake.
Right, because he got that big ass fucking contract, and it's like, oh, we're gonna make Kukoc. Fuck is Kukoc?
He wasn't ready for
He was a 6 man. Probably Steve Kerr probably was a 6 man.
See, the thing about Milwaukee is, if we build you from the ground up, you will be greatness when we send you out there. If we take you because we think you have the potential, you fail us.
Yeah, Bobby Simmons was another failure too. He had one good year in L.A. Bucks was like, oh, let's give him the max contract.
I think white people don't know nothing about basketball in Milwaukee, so they go based on names that they hear.
Oh, man. Bobby Simmons don't sound like somebody I want to sign.
He don't.
He sound like my drunk uncle.
Uncle Bobby.
Uncle Bobby Simmons. Bobby Simmons makes salmon.
But before we roll out of here for this basketball, the original reason why we brung up the sports conversation was we don't want to talk about LeBron and the greatness that he could possibly do in L.A. We want to talk about the greatness he's doing off the courts. Now, just like Cleveland fans once before who got highly upset at LeBron jumping ship to go to Miami, they got mad at him for jumping ship and going to L.A., especially because of the LeBron-Kobe feud that was going on for years. But LeBron actually is doing something in Cleveland that I got to commend this dude for it.
No nigga in the NBA is building y'all public schools.
Right, that's what I'm saying. LeBron is actually taking his money and he's building public schools. He's building school, not a school, schools. And not only is he building school, there's programs going on in regards to it, such as in free tuition, free books, free uniforms. Like, if you stay in his school, stay in his school, he's taking care of you. He's even going one step further and actually doing GED programs for parents of students. So on one side of the coin, a lot of people are like, well, why didn't you do this earlier? First of all, that's his fucking money. He can do what he wants with it.
Right.
He's not doing this to pacify Cleveland because he's bouncing. He's actually doing what every other race, creed, and color does. He's getting these white people's money and then putting it back in our community. Like Asians will come over here and get black money for the shops and stores they open up.
And then hire nothing but them.
And put the money in their community. When was the last time you seen an Asian person go shop at the local corner store?
You don't.
You don't.
Because they shop at their corner store.
They shop at their specific stores. And that's just how they do it. And he's doing the same thing. Matter of fact, I commend him going for a max contract for that reason. Because, you guys going to give me XYZ amount of money to come over here and play? Sure. Who's going to give me the most money? Because now that's more money I can pump into this school system I want to be. But here's the funniest thing in the world. I seen a meme that had LeBron at a press conference, and at the top of it said, it had people in the front. LeBron said, yeah, I'm opening up my own public school. And they had, was it Yumo, the dude, the dude from Hidden Figures?
Right.
Talking about, my schools are open and running. Where's the school you've been trying to get money for? Because they always been getting on dude about he was a shyster about the whole school thing. He was just getting people to donate money, and he was keeping the money. He never planned on opening the school.
Right. Did he open the school?
No. School never opened. He claimed he got halfway through, and then he got upset because people wasn't donating to him.
Well, maybe it's a lot of stuff you got to go through to open up a school. I don't think
It ain't the easiest thing in the world, but I see a lot of charter schools popping up here left and right, so it can't be too hard.
Maybe he just didn't want to go through all the logistics.
My thing was, if you're asking money for people to donate, are you asking the right people? Because if somebody like LeBron James, who of course had this idea to open up these schools, he clearly has the money to do so.
Right.
Just because big name athletes who we expect, like I don't expect D Wade to give up half his money to go open up a school, but maybe somebody who's in the league who came from the area that you're targeting, maybe they want to donate and help out, you know? But the fact that LeBron, like, I don't want my legacy to only be basketball. Here's something else. Here's something that I'm helping young men and young women succeed in, because I don't want everybody to have hoop dreams. Maybe I want you to go be a doctor. Maybe I want you to go be a lawyer. Maybe I want you to go do something else, and I'm going to give you all the tools so there's no excuses now. Like, I commend him for doing that. I actually commend when actual athletes or people who got money, period, do stuff to help other people out when they don't have to. LeBron don't have to open a school. LeBron could open up a basketball camp and we'll be like, cool. But he don't want to just do a basketball camp.
Right,
He wants to be a full-blown school.
I figure when people do things in their field, you just applaud them. You be like, you're supposed to do that.
Right.
Because you play ball.
Right.
But for him to open up a whole school, people be like, oh, man, you can't open up no school. Like, look, if that man feels that this is the best way he could give back to his, like, is his community, like, whether he plays in Cleveland or not, he's from Ohio.
Facts.
This is where he grew up at.
Facts.
And he probably looks at it like, well, if I didn't have the people that helped me along the way, then I wouldn't be LeBron James.
Right.
I wouldn't have, if I didn't have people helping me at 15, 16, or, you know, even in his younger years, I wouldn't have been able to harness this gift that God gave me, which was to play basketball.
Right.
Now I'm trying to help the next generation harness whatever gift that they have, because everybody can't be me.
Right.
Everybody will not be LeBron James.
Facts.
Just like everybody won't be Jay-Z. Everybody won't be Lil Wayne. But people like to dream. But maybe just because you won't be LeBron James doesn't mean you won't be a good scientist.
Facts.
Doesn't mean you can't be a good doctor. Like, but you need someone to be like, all right, look, man, this is here for you. These are, the resources that I probably didn't have, but I want y'all to have. So I think people just get off my nigga back, fam. You want to open up a school to help the fucking youth? Let him help.
Because I think a lot of people forget LeBron came straight out of high school himself, so he didn't dick around with them college years and rub elbows with niggas who feel like they better than you because they're studying this major or studying that major. And the fact that he came out of high school and is definitely one of the top 5 greatest players in the league, period.
I think they need to get rid of that rule.
What?
I think
the college rule?
Yeah, they don't make kids go to college.
A lot of people felt that the rule, they have it down to 1 year, or you have to go play overseas and then you can get drafted back. But it's more so to help them get that maturity level because a lot of them, they wasn't mature jumping in the league.
I feel like if you go to college, you should go to college because you want an education.
Right.
Because a lot of people who they focus it like if you're this great basketball player in high school, but they make you go to college, you're not going to college to learn. You going to college for that 1 year and to play ball. And then the basketball season is not as long as that semester you in college. Your basketball season probably starts in October and then it ends in March. So if you stay injury free, you good. Because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to class. Because you're here just to play ball.
Well, you have to at least go to class the first semester.
Bro, you probably got all study halls and a math class. Fam.
I mean,
niggas ain't going to school. Niggas ain't going to
I'm
school.
not saying they ain't going to school to get smart. Some do, because you got some niggas that went to college and are in the pros with a legitimate degree. That if they injure their knee tomorrow, they can go work somewhere else. You got some with some bullshit degrees who can only hope that you can get a broadcasting job for ESPN.
Right. But I feel like if a nigga is only jumping, because like you got to look at where they recruiting these college kids from. Like you going to the slummest of the slums, because that's where you feel like all the basketball talent is, to better your what? Your school that you're getting paid for. I'm on ESPN every week balling like crazy, but I don't see, all I get is some free gym shoes because my school is sponsored by Nike.
Even then, you can't get much.
While my coach gets this big-ass check. So when they approach me about, well, you want to leave school early? Hell yeah, because I'm trying to get the bag. Look where you found me. I have to feed my family. True. I am the only one to make it out of this fucking poverty-stricken environment to go to school.
All right. So one particular movie that I think a lot of people forgot about.
Please don't say Blue Chips.
It was Blue Chips. It was. No, and the reason why I bring this up was one movie that a lot of people tend to forget about, which is Blue Chips, is that's more of a realization of what athletes have to go through. Even though they focused it more on the coach and the dilemma he had to live with, the actuality of the movie was the players. You found Shaquille O'Neal tearing down backboards in the middle of who fucking knows where.
Right.
And college wasn't even on his list. You had Malik. Was it Malik Sealy?
I don't know. I ain't seen Blue Chips in a while.
Or was it Scott Skiles? Whatever it was.
I know they had Anthony Hardaway in that.
Yeah, I'm getting there. You had Malik. He was point shaving because he was taking money under the table because he had a family fee because college athletes can't work a job while they're in school.
Which is fucked up.
Which is definitely fucked up. And that's athletes, period. It's not even just basketball. You play football, you run track, you run lacrosse, you fucking throw a javelin on track and field. Whatever you do sports-wise, collegiately, you can't have a regular job. You can't work.
And with that being in place, so you can't work, and then they get mad and they want to ban kids from what they love to do when they take money from these boosters. Like, bro, I'm on college. I'm on campus. I'm in this new environment. My family didn't have any money to fucking send me here.
Right.
So I'm here on your dime.
Right.
But I don't have no money in my pocket.
And
so when a booster be like, I like your game, I'm willing to kick you down this as long as when I know you make it, you look back. What kid ain't finna take that?
And I think that's where a lot of people forget. this is where the economic borderline comes into play at. Like, we sit here and we talk about how many African Americans are not in school and how we're not taking advantage of the programs that are out there. It's not the programs that's the problem. It's the experience. Like, if I'm growing up in the inner city, shit, I grew up on 10th and Monarchy. So I had what I had when I had it.
Right.
Even though my mom's made sure I had everything I needed, I can't say the same thing for my neighbors. I can't say the same thing for the nigga on the block over.
Right.
Okay? I go to college. I'm now in this environment where it's a melting pot of all race, creeds, and colors. But just because I'm a black kid and you're a black kid, your black experience is not the same as mine. You might have been groomed to go to college. I got lucky because I was smart as shit, or in this case, I played basketball well.
I had a pretty good jump shot.
I happen to be 6'5", but I'm only like 17.
Right.
You know?
So
my hand-eye coordination is phenomenal, so UW said, come here. Cool. I'm here. Now I'm on a team. I'm hooping. Because sports is an entertainment, everybody sees me. Everybody knows me. I'm popular for no reason. So I go from the kid off of 10th and Monarchy to the new athlete on the basketball team who's going to help us win the Horizon League.
I'm mad that you know that.
I actually went to UW.
I know.
I actually went to UWM on a legitimate scholarship. I wasn't an athlete. I'm uncoordinated. Shit, I'm barely 5'10". Okay? But I did have mad hops in high school.
If you're uncoordinated, you can never catch the lob.
I could catch the lob. I just couldn't take off with it because my hands were small. I couldn't palm the ball enough. But if the ball was up there, we was good. All right? I'm now got bitches that I would never even know all over me. I got white chicks who want to prove daddy wrong by sleeping with a black dude knocking at my door. I got younger black chicks who down for the struggle looking at me because I'm not down for the struggle with you. I got all these different viewpoints coming at me. And then I got these old white folks shaking my hand, smiling in my face, happy I'm here. And the only thing they can care about is me getting a championship for them. You don't give a fuck if I'm eating. You don't give a fuck if I'm going to school. You don't give a fuck what's going on at home with my moms. You don't give a fuck why I decided your school over other schools.
Right.
You know?
And then it's like, so, and my question is like, is it really fair to the guy? Like, I feel like those scholarships and that free shit that they give it to this nigga who don't want to be here, you could give that to somebody who been trying and who been busting their ass on some scholastic shit to be here so he can be here. Because I feel like, okay, prime example. Star athlete in high school, they want you to go to college. I'm personally probably not going to class. Why? Because you wanted me here to play football. Or you wanted me here to play basketball. If they didn't have this punk ass rule, I could have went from my classroom to the NBA making $1 million. But now I gotta come here and risk the possible chance of me getting injured. And then if I get injured, now I have to stay in school.
You want to know why?
I got to learn.
You want to know why?
Because if I don't, I won't have anything to bank off of. But then who's to say that scholarship ain't cut? Like, who's to say they don't do something tricky because now I can't play for the team anymore.
Right.
And I'm just here to go to school. They look at me like, oh, nigga, you damaged good.
Right.
We can't
That's
fund
why
you.
athletic scholarships are tricky.
We can't fund you no more.
But here's the thing. Schools make money off their athletes.
Right.
Because if you're a star player, and you're a local star player at that.
Oh, they're definitely selling your jersey.
Right. Your jersey's being sold. People who wasn't buying tickets before are buying tickets. You're getting press release, which increases advertisement, which is better marketing. And don't fucking start winning some shit.
Hey, because they definitely going to put you on Sports Illustrated.
Okay? Because as you move up in collegiate rank, the school gets athletic bonuses. So as you make it to the NCAA tournament, your school gets money towards your athletic program. The higher you move up in the program, the more that money is.
And the kids see none of it.
And don't make it to the Final Four, because that's not only a guaranteed check that's going to be nice and fat, but you now have recruitment money to bring more people in to get back there the next year. Don't win that shit either. Okay? You win that shit, you going to have... If a motherfucking team for the Horizon League wins the NCAA tournament...
And we'll never be there.
No, because we're not. I feel like that league that's your first taste of rigged league. Okay? Because there is no way in hell they going to let Cinderella teams make it all the way to the end. But see, that's why they have 64 teams, because whichever games are rigged, you're not paying attention because there's 63 other fucking games going on and you missed it. But, no, real talk though, yes, the rule needs to go away. The rule has a purpose. It's to help these players mature and prepare themselves for the league. But for the athlete, it's a backfire. Like you said, I can get injured playing some nigga from Dominican who's mad because I dunked on him last round. So now he might get a little aggressive and flagrant foul the hell out of me. What's the worst that's going to happen to him? He going to get kicked off the team? He don't get no fuck. He's already a senior. He wasn't going to the league anyway. He's more worried about this damn chem exam so he can get this degree and go be a doctor. Meanwhile, I banked on getting drafted.
Right. See, that's why they just get rid of the rule. Let niggas flourish.
But that's where the loophole comes into play at. Brandon Jennings was the first one to prove it. He said, I'm not going to your college for the exact reasons you named. And his ass went overseas to ball. You ball overseas. Every year you can declare yourself draftable. There's no cap. So eventually they're going to be like, well, Brandon Jennings is wilding out over here.
And I don't blame him.
And then you got drafted by, it may not be the team you want, but you're in the league now. All you got to do is get your foot in.
And for the years he was relevant, he did okay for himself.
He's not a bad player.
He just got waived this morning.
By who?
The Bucks.
We had him?
Again, yeah, we did. We had him last year.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
Did he play?
Some games, not many.
Okay, that's probably why I don't know. Like, did he play?
Yeah.
Yep, you know what, you're right. Because I was like, damn, that nigga came home.
Right. Yeah. So we had him. They just waived him. I don't know why. He's not that old. He's legit.
I didn't say he was old, but it was you know, a fact.
Yeah, he fell from grace really hard. Like, he had, like, one good year here, and the niggas was like, I got to get the bag, and then the bag wasn't as big as you thought it was going to be, so, shit happens.
Ooh, excuse me. Speaking about falling for grace, let's go over to this music world real quickly.
Man.
So recently...
Wait, who fell from grace in the music industry?
No, nigga, to me, I think 6ix9ine.
He done fell from grace. The hands fell from the sky, whooping his ass.
All right. So for those of you guys who haven't heard, Tekashi 6ix9ine recently had an altercation where he was kidnapped, beat up, robbed, shot. Okay.
Bro, I don't think he was shot.
No, he was shot. That's how he ended up in the hospital.
Well.
Or shot at. One or two. Either shot or shot at. After the incident occurred, he spoke to reporters about how it went down. And from what I read from the interview, basically what happened was they followed his car and they robbed him at his car. Now, when he was in the car, they basically put a bag over his head and beat his ass in so many words. Told him, give me all you got. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, 6ix9ine has been running around in Chicago talking.
But this happened when he was home in New York.
Right, I'm getting ready to say that. Talking some of the biggest shit. This nigga has been thugging and threatening and fucking with people.
Thugging and bugging, as Teddy Long would say.
Especially fucking with Chief Keef.
Holla, holla, holla.
Okay? Shut up, dog. I'm trying to be serious here.
Fam, How can we be serious when Lil Jeff Hardy out here running around thinking it's a game?
Dog, speaking of that, I read a tweet that somebody posted that they said, when 6ix9ine came out, I thought that the rap community had finally accepted gays. Because they thought his hair beads being a rainbow was because he was letting the world know he was down with the LBGT.
I don't get why his hair is rainbow.
That's care. What that was funny, because when they said that, I was dying. I was like, dog.
I'm like, look, you can't go around trolling people and think nothing is going.
And that's where I'm getting at this. Even though it may not specifically been related to the shit he was doing in Chicago, you can't say you about that life, and when the smoke comes for you, you bitch up. Because he was like, yeah, like when they got me, all I can think about was my kid and how I just got done seeing them, and I want to live now. You can't talk about you want to live when you were talking about giving somebody the hands or busting a cap in them and all kind of shit like that. That now
I'm busting a cap.
Now you, I know I'm old. Now you in this moment, and your talk is not like it's time to walk the walk, dog.
Yeah, bro, you can't be a gang member or a gang affiliate. I really think it was an inside job.
I think it was too.
Like,
and the fucked up shit is
you want to be this tough guy, and you hang. First of all, if you hang out with savages who are really savages, eventually they turn on you.
Facts.
Because they savages. And then that's what happens when they turn on you. They rob you.
Because what happens basically is when you hang out with niggas that are really about that life,
and then you can't feed them.
Facts.
They decide to feed themselves.
They gonna get. It's like dogs. If you sit here and you keep poking your dogs and you keep trying to make your dogs vicious and you keep trying to make your dogs just be ready to attack anybody that comes around, eventually you're gonna be the target. Eventually they're going to eat you. And I feel like that's what happened. I feel like his camp seen that this nigga put himself in place. And because he put himself in this place, in this position, somebody sat down and was like, hey, man, what if we just rob this nigga 6ix9ine? Like, we might be eating good with him, but he got so many enemies right now, nigga would never know. And the crazy part, it's true.
Right, because you making all... And then it's like, nobody should ever be put in that position where you can almost lose your life. But when all you do is troll people and cause corruption.
Like, nigga, what is the DA?
I'm just saying, like, all you do is cause, I'm sorry, not corruption, commotion.
Right.
Well, all you do is cause commotion, friction, and static. And then when it happens to you, ain't nobody got no sympathy for you.
Right.
Ain't nobody got no pity. They ain't got no emotion. They just like, oh, well, you got what you deserve. Like, when you put out that bad energy, eventually you get bad energy back.
Right. And I think what really irritated me was, and it's not him being irritated. He didn't do nothing wrong because it could have been how he felt. He was like, at that moment when they was robbing him, all he could think about was how Tekashi had just got put in that situation. And he got robbed. And after he got robbed, he got killed. So his whole thing was like, damn, I don't want to get robbed and be killed. So let me give them whatever they ask for. And he also turned around and said, well, I got A, B, C, D at the crib. We go to my crib, I give you this, just let me go and don't hurt my family. Now, my whole thing was like, bro, why you even offer up the shit you at the crib? But I guess he wanted to guarantee that once they were gone, he was safe. But
then, fresh out the hospital, he does an interview with Angie Martinez. And what is he doing? Back on this bullshit. The nigga out here. Now, I ain't gonna lie. He wasn't wrong for what he said, because I personally don't know no Vic Mensa song either. Vic Mensa was on Wild 'N Out. That's about the only thing I can remember notable that he ever did.
Everybody been on Wild 'N Out. Dog, Wild 'N Out cast
I didn't even
has
know.
really changed.
I didn't even know Vic Mensa was from Chicago until he had a beef with DJ Academics.
I just seen that.
And why is he picking on the DJ? Like, do Vic Mensa really think this shit gonna... Look, instead of you worried about Tekashi 6ix9ine and worried about DJ Academics, how about you make some good fucking music?
What's that? People don't do that no more.
Tekashi seems to make good music.
Tekashi yells.
He makes a good brand of bullshit, I say, because niggas like it. Because apparently everything he do hits the Billboard Top 100. So he's always charting. Even his new song he did with Nicki Minaj. I don't think it's cold, but...
Yeah, speaking of that, dog, Azalea Banks.
I hate her.
And we all do.
With a passion.
She won't shut the fuck up.
Like, why don't they just lock this bitch up at Arkham Asylum and call it...
Arkham, dog?
Yeah! Stick that bitch wherever they put the Joker at when Batman catch her.
They actually...
she need a straitjacket like a...
She actually kind of said that Nicki was in poor taste for doing that song and that video with 6ix9ine.
I thought the video was dope, but I don't like the song. But I watched the video all day because I think Nicki Minaj is beautiful.
And Nicki Minaj ran her course with me.
Your opinion.
And I wasn't saying that she not done. I just said she ran her course with me.
I think the video was dope. I think it was a good look. But, I mean, Azalea Banks also was Instagram trying to sabotage the Wild 'N Out cast.
Yeah.
So who really gives... Now, Tone.
Yes.
If you... Because everybody who listens to the Death Fresh Show or Socially Awkward, shout out to my cousin Mimi, they know that Tone does not have front dentals at this moment in time in his life.
Nope.
So, if you are sensitive about your front dentals not being there, would you go on a show like Wild 'N Out?
No, I would not put myself in a position where the subject matter of my oral cavities could be discussed.
Because you know that they make jokes on this show.
Dude, there is a whole segment where was it the family cookout?
At the family reunion.
At the family reunion, where they go in the crowd and actually rib somebody to a melody.
Right. So, like, if you know what this show is about, and if Nick... Now, I don't know about you, but if Nick Cannon reached out and was like, hey, yo, I'm trying to get the Death Fresh Show cast on Wild 'N Out, I'm going.
I'm going. Grill or not, I'm going.
But if you going and you know that this is a touchy topic, you have to be ready because you know that they're gonna make jokes about this.
You just get your own shit together.
Right. Because Nick Cannon has been the butt of the joke for the past 10 years.
Nigga, he's been a butt of joke on every fucking episode.
Because his rap career will never get not funny.
Or being married to Mariah.
Will never not be funny.
Or fucking the Wild 'N Out girls.
That's probably a little creepy, but he probably does that too.
No, they always bring up like,
oh, well, right.
Every Wild 'N Out girl gets their job because they fucked Nick Cannon first.
Right. So it's like,
I don't know how true it is, but it keeps coming up.
But if you know you're gonna be the ass of the joke, like I'm not gonna go in there and be like, damn man, fuck the Wild 'N Out cast. They made a million fat jokes. Nah, nigga, you just gotta have your own jokes.
There comes a point in time where you have to be desensitive about certain jokes or comments that are made about you, whether they're true or not, because it's something that's associated with you. Like, prime example, we're talking about my grill. Mimi and Monte was cracking jokes because, to me, it posted that my job is hiring. Okay? Now, everybody knows it's real difficult to get into my job, even though some suspectual people have got in there.
Suspectual?
Suspectual. Yes, I made a word up, people.
Yeah, we will put that in the Death Fresh dictionary.
Suspectual. Like, they're suspect, and but they've gotten in there. They've been hired. Some of them are not there anymore.
Suspectual sound like a new sexuality.
Suspectual. Like, you might be straight, you might be gay.
Suspectual.
You suspectual? Okay.
Cool. That definition.
Yeah. We don't know if you gay, but we seen you with bitches.
Suspectual.
You suspectual. Okay. If that's the case, then yes, we do have some suspectual people here.
We hang out with some too.
You know what I'm saying? But no, and Lil Terry jumped in because they was cracking jokes that I must have fucked somebody to get me and Teresa in there. Lil Terry was like, well, he ain't got no teeth, so he must be giving great head or something along the line.
Right.
And I'm like, I just laughed. Like, that's funny. You know, I wouldn't fuck my way to the top.
I would.
But I know, but it was funny that, like, we always say that about white women when they move up the corporate ladder. But then it was like, well, Tone ain't got no teeth. And, like, back in the days, if that was brung up, that shit would irritate me. Now it's like, oh, yeah, that's right, I ain't got no teeth. I got to remember.
Right, you ever read it and be like, nigga, what? Oh, wait, I guess I don't.
The fuck, I ain't got no teeth. That's, oh, well. Because I'm so, like, everybody is so used to this that when I get the surgery done, I think that would be weird to everybody else.
No, we're probably still going to make jokes about it. We'll make jokes about you having teeth then.
I wouldn't care at that point because I'd be small like a motherfucker. I smell like a motherfucker now. Don't care. But I'm just saying. But in the words of Monte, to bring it back to the topic, we don't care. Like, you got to be prepared for that. Like, if folks are going to cry, the go-to jokes are the ones you should never be offensive about because they're the go-to.
Right.
Like when niggas want to rib you and you stung them good, they'll go to a fat joke.
Right. Like I just said, we answered a question on the Death Fresh show, and literally everybody asked me something about being fat.
Right. Nigga, how long can you run? How big is this? Can you stand? Can you like? It was a fat joke plethora. Like if I did the same thing, it's gonna be old age, teeth, past indiscretions.
Right.
It's what it is. So, being someone famous, and someone famous for starting shit, you should be prepared for everything. You should never not be ready for the thunder that's coming at you.
For the thunder?
Because once Twitter gets a hold of you, bruh, it's a shit store.
Yeah, so I think that we need to get Azalea Banks the fuck out of here.
She ain't gonna go nowhere as long as there's such thing as free speech.
Because she's not making good music either.
I don't think she's making music at all. I can't remember the last time I listened to anything from her. I can't remember listening to anything from her, period, bro. And that's
point exactly.
That's not me even, like, saying she's crappy. There's nothing of hers that's ever appealed to me.
Right. So,
I'll listen to Little Mama before I listen to her.
You know what? I can't even sign that. Because Little Mama got some bars.
I told you, bruh.
But
I think y'all won't let... Lil Mama's a prime example. Y'all niggas won't let go of one mistake she made.
That's not me.
And everybody has been fucking with her ever since.
I think with anybody who was young and grew up in hip-hop, you have a stigma of being that way forever. Like, look at Lil Bow Wow. I'm sorry. Shad Moss. But, like, dog been making records since he was fucking 12. And he's my age. Maybe 32 now. But it's like, when you have been bubblegum for so long, and then you finally get to the age where you're like, well, I want to talk about some grown-up shit because I'm growing up in life, so now my voice is deeper, and I can swear, and now I'm drinking, or now I'm smoking weed. Like, I get it, like, you grow up, but it's like, they never gonna take your music seriously because they always gonna look at you as Lil Bow Wow.
But I can't say that. I think if you can if you can forge a new path for your lane and not instantly jump into, I'm grown, let me do grown shit,
Musically,
it'll be okay.
Musically,
you know a prime example?
Musically, Bow Wow could never blend the two together.
And that was his downfall. Because
He
Chris
became a great actor.
Chris Cross did great going from Totally Crossed Out to The Bomb.
But it was never Kitty Bubblegum rap.
I Missed the Bus. Jump. It's a Shame.
But
those were Kitty. They wasn't Kitty songs to the extent of some of the Childish songs we really heard.
Okay, it was Kitty, but it wasn't Childish.
It wasn't like an Aisha or Spider-Man,
right?
Like shit, that shit. Yeah, it wasn't that, but it was still. This is their generation. Now, the reason why I said that Bow Wow could have made the transition, but it was his own fault, was, one, you were in the same house that Criss Cross built. So you had the same writers. You had the Brad on staff.
No,
you had the same production.
This is where it gets tricky. The first two albums that Bow Wow did, he did them with JD. Now, when Bow Wow got to that, I felt like if he would have stayed with Jermaine Dupri going through that transition of growing up and bridging his gap, his transition to being older would have been smoother.
Right.
But he went from them first couple albums with JD and Jermaine Dupri helping him write it to now T.I.'s writing your raps now. That's a whole nother a whole nother lane from Jermaine Dupri writing your raps.
And that's where he made his mistakes because
now you got a trap legend who's grown trying to be in the mind of a 17-year-old.
But the mistake that Bow Wow made was not letting T.I. assist him in getting his grown-up skills. It's emulating him instead of putting your own on it. Because when he did T.I. songs, you fucking knew it. Prime example, Side to Side remix with 3-6 Mafia.
Yeah, T.I. wrote that verse.
No, it wasn't the fact that T.I. just wrote it. The nigga rapped the whole verse the way T.I. wrote it. That to the point where you can take Shad and you can put T.I. here and nothing would change.
Facts.
Nothing. You just, give me a fucking mixer and I could probably tweak Shad's voice just to be a little bit more high pitch and it would probably sound like T.I. That's the mistake that he made. If you're going to have someone ghostwriting for you, don't beat them. Okay?
Right.
Like, for an example, Dre had everybody writing for him. But when Dre delivered the song,
it always sounded like Dre.
It was always Dre. Okay?
It still sounds like Dre, even though Jay-Z wrote Still D.R.E.
Right.
But it still sounds like Dr. Dre.
And when Royce was writing for him, that didn't sound like Royce, because Royce has a completely different delivery than Dre does.
Right.
So there's no excuse. That's Shad's own fucking fault.
I ain't say who was to blame.
I'm just saying, like, you, at that point in time, the only thing I can feel was you may have lost the love for the music because you was getting this movie money. Because that's two completely different checks.
Right.
Because once he did like Mike, and then turned around and did, was it Roll Bounce?
Yeah, did Roll Bounce.
They were both successful movies.
I just feel like, I won't knock him for wanting to do things on his own, because I guess everybody eventually, was like, JD helped build the house, but now I got to keep the lights on. And you want to do things on your own. Well, I felt like when it was time to come back to the music, should have went back to Who Helped You Build the House in the first place. And then by the time he went back to Who Helped You Build the House, it's like this. Well, I feel like as far as music goes, when Bow Wow stepped out and tried to do shit on his own, it wasn't as successful as when he got back with JD. When you go back with JD, whether I like you or not, there's number one hits. Now you're doing shit with T-Pain. Now you're doing shit with Chris Brown, because this is from the mind of Jermaine Dupri. If there was one thing Jermaine Dupri know how to do, that's make a hit.
Facts.
Jermaine Dupri will never not make a hit. Whether it's a song from Mariah Carey. You know what's crazy? That nigga can do hits for everybody else, but Jermaine Dupri ain't had a hit since Money Ain't a Thing.
Because he wasn't supposed to have that hit.
That's why they disguised it and put it on Hove album, too. Just want to let y'all know that Jermaine Dupri disguised that. That was not his song. That's why he put it on Jay-Z album, too. Then when it blew up, he's like, hey, Hove, let's put this on my album. And then that's another story for another time.
Well, because
I was there.
Like, I'm sitting here looking at Bow Wow's discography, and the Unleash album, that was the one he did without JD.
And T.I. helped write most of it.
He had some great features. Well, I can't even say that.
His first single had Birdman.
I was going to say, that's what made me back up. Like,
that song was doo-doo.
But when he went back to Jay-Z Jermaine Dupri on the Wanted album.
Hits. Sierra.
Like Me. Yeah. That was the shit. That's probably my favorite Bow Wow song. I ain't gonna lie.
What was on the Wanted album? I think he did, and he still had,
Let Me Hold You, Like You.
What a Mariana.
Fresh in the Mud.
But see, and I felt like, with Jermaine Dupri knew how to blend Bow Wow, who he really was, and T.I. helping write it. Because T.I. wrote Fresh As I'm Is.
Yep.
But it was a hit.
I think Jaquan helped him as well, too.
Oh, yeah, Jaquan was definitely helping with that one.
Where the hell did Jaquan go, dog? That nigga had promise. Dog.
You know what? I watched the interview. You ever watch the show Drink Champs on YouTube? Nori's got a podcast. It's called Drink Champs.
I gotta check it out.
And he interviewed Jermaine Dupri. And he asked JD, he was like, dog, whatever happened to like all our... Because So Def was signed to everybody at one point in time.
Was.
But the way Jermaine Dupri broke it down, it was like So Def was kind of like a HUD label for a lot of niggas. So like you were on So Def, but it was more like distribution. Gotcha. So like your projects was coming through So Def, but you weren't really here. Which is why a lot of niggas dropped them one albums and then kind of disappeared. Like Jaquan. I felt like if Jaquan had been like a legit So Def artist, Jaquan would still be here.
Jaquan dropped 4 albums and a diss track towards Pusha T.
Why does he have 4 albums? Who listened to him?
He had Hood Hop 2, Hood Hop 2.5, and then an album called Jaquan.
And the only album that's relevant is Hood Hop.
That's because he had 2 tracks off of it. That was the shit.
But you know what? He still gets paid because apparently Jermaine Dupri's going to go on tour now. The So Def 25 tour. So I'm pretty sure he'll be there. And Escape.
Dude did a Tipsy remix.
Why are you looking up Jaquan's discography, dog? I'm pretty sure ain't shit interesting in there.
Because I want to know what the fuck you been doing, dog.
Ain't shit in there you going to recognize.
Hood Hop.
That's it.
And Tipsy.
Man, niggas just fall off. But, you know, some people fall off and then some people is... I feel like it's more to people falling off than what we just said.
It's definitely more to it. A lot of times it's personal stuff going on in their life and we don't know about it until the biography drop.
Well, Jaquan ain't never getting no fucking biography.
Hey, niggas is getting biographies left and right.
You know,
if he wanted to, he can fucking just go on YouTube and drop a biography. Just have somebody camera and interview him, and you just tell your life story.
I don't really think no one's gonna care, but he could try it if he want to.
Some people might care. Myth Bleak. We were talking about where the hell Myth Bleak was. That nigga's like got his own label and got artists dropping all the time.
Can you name one?
Malono Rose. We just had him on the Man Cave this weekend. Matter of fact, that interview just dropped.
What song does he have?
I Get Money.
Is it valid?
It's actually fire, dog.
I might have to listen to it.
Go ahead. I'm not saying that because we just interviewed him. I'm saying that because after I listened to the music before I set it up. I could fuck with it.
And this is a Myth Bleak artist?
It's It's a Myth Bleak artist.
Maybe he's a better CEO than he is a rapper.
And the funny part was, one of Kyle's questions was like, "Hey, bro, you think Myth Bleak will ever get back in the booth?" He's like, "Nah, man. Bleak is doing his CEO thing. And like, I ain't gonna say he ain't never getting back in, but he's really grinding on the CEO tip instead."
Let's hope Myth Bleak never gets back in the booth.
Don't sit there and act like Bleak didn't have bars. He just couldn't put together a collective project.
We couldn't put. That's like a retard can't put together a collective thought. It's like it's called thinking.
He had tracks, bro. Some people minds work faster than they move, bro.
Myth Bleak. He was supposed to be the next Jay-Z.
I think that was too much pressure on him.
So, us as fans wanted him to fulfill the prophecy.
Prophecies don't get fulfilled when you want them to be fulfilled. That's why you keep getting all these people predicting the end of the world.
Ain't no end of the world. Well, maybe, but not right now.
Just saying.
Ain't gonna end tomorrow. Shit, I gotta
Well,
work.
this episode is about to get ready to end. I'll tell you that much. But I want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight and caught tonight's edition or this afternoon's edition of the Definitely Fresh Show. Make sure you check us out on Spreaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, or wherever else you listen to your pods at. Juan, go ahead and take us home.
Well, as my final thought, I would just like to say, college ain't for everybody. The music industry ain't for everybody. But apparently doing a podcast is. So many fucking podcasts popping up. Shout out to everybody who's doing a podcast now.
Shout out to everybody that's doing a podcast, but doing something else off the back of their podcast.
Like what?
Like people who are out here like promoting, creating like game nights and just really taking their podcast and making it a full-blown brand. Like,
shout out to them.
Like, prime examples. We always bring these guys up because they are boys. Sweats and Suits.
But I feel like we bring them up because if you are looking to brand your podcast,
they are probably the best example.
Right. We started the wave. They elevated the wave. That's who you be like.
Like, I even shout out to TZ Talks because TZ does so many different things. Now, don't get me wrong. Tease was already out here doing her little things prior to before this because they used to do the top 10 artists in Milwaukee.
Right, they were doing
That's
that.
how we
met Teasy.
That's how we did.
Teasy was on the show.
Right, we had him on the show years ago doing that. I think it was the second one they did.
Right.
When we brought them. No, it was the first one because there was a lot of backlash about people who made it and who didn't make it.
Oh, there was so many. Like, why are you niggas in Milwaukee so angry that y'all didn't make D? Now, this is no knock to teasing them because they're great at what they do, but they're just some niggas who like music.
Right.
So why you mad at them in their top 10 list? It's not like their top 10 list is official. But if y'all niggas want to live by the standard bearer, then y'all need to work harder to make their top 10.
Facts, and that's what it boiled down to. It was like, if you guys are going to put so much hate in the fact that you didn't make their list,
make better music.
Make better music to make it on the list.
Facts.
That's all you had to do. Don't get mad at them. Don't say they bogus. Don't. And I feel like that about anybody. You can't get fucking mad if you didn't make the freshman class list.
You should have made better music.
Make better music to prove to them you guys fucked up not putting me on this list.
Right.
End the story. Okay? But going back to what we were saying before, they've been making moves. They've been making noise. They've been doing stuff. And I respect them. You know what I'm saying? Some people take this and it's their way of venting. They get things off their chest. They get their ideas out. Other people make it their new profession.
I feel like we should put together some shit.
I think it's time. I think now.
Not with us, though. We will not be the fronts for this. But I have an idea that I'll talk to you about.
Actually, I got something that people done came to me about. And we've all talked about it before. But I think now with the staff that we have in place, it's more possible than it was.
I'm not flying no niggas here.
No. It's not even gonna be here, bruh.
I gotta go somewhere?
Run New York.
Good luck getting me on a plane.
We'll take the train.
Nigga, ain't no. Is a train from here to New York?
Nigga, it's a train from everywhere to everywhere.
I'll get on a train, but I will not get on a plane. Is that fair?
Yeah, you a big nigga. First of all, to get a comfortable seat on the plane, they're going to charge you for 2 seats. That's not fair.
You damn right.
So they're going to make you pay double to do something.
How long is a train ride from here to New York, though?
It doesn't matter.
I ain't trying to be on a train for 3 days, man.
This ain't going to be no goddamn 3 days. Nigga, don't even take 3 days to drive, so it's going to take 3 days for a train. Nigga, it can barely take you 3 days if you drive nonstop from New York to California.
Well, it took my pops 2.5 days to get from here to San Francisco.
That's what I said, nonstop. I guarantee that your pop probably stopped and took some sleep.
Well, it was a gang. It was like 12 niggas in a van. So they took turns driving.
Fuck.
Yeah. I
don't want no part. Nigga, it was hard taking 12 niggas to Chicago in the van. Like, we almost died doing that.
Bro,
I'm not gonna go cross country with 12 niggas.
It got so, like, he came home and he was like, he called moms from, like, Kansas City. It was like, I can't do this shit with these niggas no more.
Damn.
Like, it got so bad that him and one of his coworkers was like, we've got to rent a fucking car. We'll pay for it, but we got to rent a car to get the fuck out of here. Because it's a 12 niggas in a van, and then it's hot.
Like, we not
ain't
even
got no windows.
We ain't even going to talk about the physical issues, like sitting in the seat, niggas start stanking, that one nigga poot, somebody somebody ate something, and the smell from the leftovers ain't good. Like, we're not going to talk about that part, dog. Just personalities. Like, you got 12 different niggas' personalities, and I guarantee you, somebody irritates somebody.
So, it's all everybody.
Then if
we irritate each other, so I know we couldn't do.
And we like each other. So just imagine, nigga, it's that one nigga you can't. Prime example, when we have game night, it's always that one person at game night that irritates your fucking soul because they either play too slow, they don't participate, they drink too much and get stupid, whatever. Somebody irritates you at game night. Make bad deals, steal shit, always try to cheat, whatever.
Hiding the Monopoly money under the fucking game board.
See, I wasn't being specific. I was just running down different reasons.
That's what they do.
I'm just running down.
That's why you can't play Monopoly with niggas. Fam. It's always the nigga who wants to be the banker is usually the thief. How you get all this extra money, bro? Oh man, and then you remember when bitch, I don't remember that because I've been watching the game board the entire time. How I'm gonna remember when you passed go is you didn't pass go. Put the money back. Ken.
I was waiting for you to drop a name. I knew you was going to drop a name eventually. I thought you was going to say Monte because he always wanted to be the banker.
But speaking of game night, August 10th, Sweats and Suits are doing, is it Black TV Trivia Night again? Or is it just Trivia Night? I don't know. I know it's Trivia Night.
Black TV. It's Black TV.
So it's Black TV Trivia Night, August 10th. I don't know where it's going to be at, but make sure y'all be there. That's next weekend.
Matter of fact, now think about that. We going to drop this episode literally the weekend before. Yeah, that's the word.
Right. So make sure y'all be there. August 10th, Black Trivia Night. Hope y'all got y'all squads there. That fresh. We're not playing, but we're going to be in the house.
We got to play one of these days.
Well, we got to get a stable person who watch TV because this motherfucker don't. But it's crazy because as much TV as she don't watch, I'm pretty sure she know 90s.
Well, it's like, duh, it's 9 times 10, it's going to be, it's Black TV. We stopped getting our own TV shows in like 2005, so not that hard.
I think my wife and kids might have been the
last wave. Good wave. After that was all Tyler Perry.
Oh, my God.
No, real talk, if you go back and listen, all the new shows was like Tyler Perry. I'm not gonna say 2005, but at least 2010 and up shit.
Low key, outside of Blackish, anything as black on TV might be Tyler Perry. Like Blackish and Power, to the best of my knowledge, are probably the only TV shows that are like black based
I mean, and Empire, but
And that ain't Tyler Perry.
right. Those
But
brothers.
other than that, Tyler Perry just put the Pains back on TV. The
Have
haves and the
not.
have-nots, for better or for worse, is coming back for another season. Tyler Perry been running TV shit for a
And
minute.
I ain't mad at him, but we really haven't been getting too many new, strictly black
But
shows.
I'd rather him do TV than to be on the big screen with a fucking dress on.
I feel like he should. I feel like his status now is past that.
Madea has ran its course.
He can do them in the plays,
Yeah, do your plays because them ain't on TV and I don't gotta go see them.
and the fact that it don't always have to be you. But I mean, people love it. People paying to come see it. Do you, bruh?
You think we can get you in a dress town for Tonedefradio?
No,
Can't be like Grandmama?
no.
You sure?
Shout out to Larry Johnson for that, though. Like, you had to be a real comfortable in your skin ass nigga for your NBA career to be kicked off
To put a wig
with
on.
you as a dunking grandma.
You put a wig on, a granny dress, and some high tops. Was he wearing Nikes?
Yeah, because I had his shoe. Wait, no, Converse.
It was Converse?
He was Converse.
See,
Because I had the LJs.
I feel like Converse never got the rep it deserved as a shoe.
Because it started off as the premier shoe. Remember, Magic and Bird,
Right, they were the Lethal Weapons.
same damn shoe,
Different
different
colors.
colors. That's when you realize niggas will buy anything.
You had a pair?
I wasn't fancy enough.
You weren't fancy enough? Would you rock a pair now?
Yeah, because I got a pair of Chucks now.
Good. That's Chucks, though. Chucks is an iconic shoe.
Chucks was bullshit back in the days.
If
She ain't got no
here-
damn support.
Here's the thing, though. Like, shoes that didn't cost that much back in the 80s or the early 90s, like, Charles Barkley's shoe came back. I love Barkley's. But I just... $200?
I had, see, when everybody was getting Jordans, when Jordans actually were authentic, because that's when the shoe actually dropped.
It was only a $100 shoe.
Even then, I had the other shit. I had the LJs. I had the Ivos. I had the Barclays.
Yeah, I had a pair of Iversons,
I had the
too.
Dennis Rodmans.
I had a few pair of Iversons. I had some Dennis Rodmans, too.
I had the Ewings.
I had a pair of Mitch Richmonds.
I had
That's
two pennies.
that's classic.
You did, yeah. I have a pair of Mitch. Yeah.
Hey, but before we leave, shout out to Penny for breaking the mold. Everybody want to talk about Jordan, but Penny Hardaway was the first nigga on Nike with a $200 shoe.
He was.
Boom.
Because the very first pair he had didn't even have his number on it. And I had them bitches.
They bringing those back. The very first Penny, they bringing
Not
those
the
back.
one with the ones.
No. The very
The
first.
black ones with the strap. I might have to go get those. Those are my favorite shoes.
Very first Penny's coming back. I got a pair of 4s.
I was pulling
And
20
then,
bitches with those.
Then the phone posits was the first Nike that was $200. So we'll leave y'all with that to chew on.
Oh, now before we get out of here, dog, I would have to say this to Magic Johnson. I low-key hate you
Why do you hate Magic?
because Magic Johnson has the greatest porn name, and he wasn't in porn.
I can see that. But his name's Irvin.
Magic Johnson, bruh.
Well, he got AIDS, so it ain't that magical. I ought to call him Tainted Johnson.
You know what? You got a point there, dog. That's some bad magic.
That's black magic.
That's some terrible magic, dog. But with that being said, once again, we'd like to thank y'all for tuning in to another edition of the Deaf Fresh Show. Make sure you check out all shows here on Tonedefradio and listen to us on Spreaker, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, wherever else you listen to your podcast at. And we out.